Alright, while we get into this game, I just want to let Shabby 1994 know that I haven't forgotten about you, man. We just had to hop into this game real quick. Didn't have time to ask Abigail if she wanted to come, and that's totally fine. We'll see if maybe she'll join me for the rest of the cast. Afterwards, maybe she's tired, maybe she just wants to celebrate her victory win. I don't know the case. But for now, this is a best of 3 game number 2 underway for the Home Story Cup 9 European qualifiers. Spawning in the top right corner of the map from Alien Invasion, the red Zerg player, Golden. And his opponent at the top left. He's blue, he's Terran. It is, do you knows, Yoda. Again, I love the little icon there. Just like a bunch of Zerglings from like Carbot and a Zealot and 2 Marines. Top of a Masters logo. Nothing too crazy. But okay, for Golden, I really don't know how to assess that game, in all honesty. The quick recap of it, of course, is like it's very obvious why he lost, how he lost, but like it's how he got to that losing situation in the first place that makes you kind of go like, whoa, wait. And one of the things that really led to it was Golden, typically when we were watching him in WCS, he had a hell of a lot of Zerglings to play with in the early game. And I'm not talking like 3 or 4 or a couple. Like, he had a hell of a lot of Zerglings always available, roaming around the map, checking for Hellions, never really getting truly caught off guard. That time I kind of feel like it was a decent amount to start, but because he had lost so many trying to harass that, like he really, I think, tunneled on that third too hard at the gold. And, you know, if you've got 12 Zerglings that die somewhere else, that's 12 less Banelings you potentially have at home, and that's kind of what he needed on the defense. But as we close the bets up here, quick review so you guys know what you're playing for here. Whoa, whoa. There's 4,056 bets on Yoda winning this series and 4,511 on Yoda on Golden taking the series. So basically, if your player wins, you're probably gonna make some pretty good investment there, guys. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. Anyways, Yoda didn't do anything crazy that game either, if we consider. Like, his aggression was okay, it was cute. He didn't... I guess getting 17 kills with the... Or not 17, I think it's like 14, because plus 3. Math is hard. He got some decent kills with the Banshee that I think caught Golden off guard too. If I had to guess, Golden's probably going to throw down some Paranoia Spores. I guess, I don't know. Like, again, you might not know it's called Banshee, but it never hurts to have that down, because what the Spore Callers will do later on as well is even if the Spore Callers never see a Banshee through the whole duration of their lives, what the Spore Callers will do is they'll shut down medevacs. They'll prevent drops from just getting into your mineral line and sitting there AFK unloading 20 Marines. Well, I guess 8 Marines, but you know, maybe you got 3 medevacs, 20 Marines. Math. But 6 Zerglings coming out here pretty quick. Out of Golden, expecting a Reaper, but we don't see a Reaper coming out of Yoda. No, indeed. We have Marines playing defensively at home. And a faster factory as a consequence of not having to use that gas. Now this is a little unfortunate, and fortunate for Golden. On one hand, he can't really break this and do any damage to it, but on the other, he doesn't have to deal with Reapers, which is a really nice thing to consider, because it means there won't be a lot of scouting going on either. Does he... Okay, the Overlord saw this, so... He's being chased around by the 2 Marines. Oh, Golden! This is like, oh, well, Destiny called like a retard magnet, I think, right? Like, not to call Yoda a retard, but with the Marines shooting the Overlord, there's actually nothing here to stop the Zerglings from getting on top of the SCVs. He might try and focus the bunker, maybe. Looks to be that's going to be the case. 2 Marines popping out. We'll need the SCVs to Vanguard for them. Oh, shoot, the Overlord died. Okay, well, hang on. Pretend something. Here, this is...
First blood.
Right? Because we didn't see the Overlord die, so it didn't count. We just simply saw the resources lost, so we could assume that maybe that was about 18 building cancels. You never know. Shut up. Shut up. Golden looking pretty good at home, though. He's got the queens out, so he's going to have his creep spread going. He doesn't have that 4th queen out, but a lot of players won't necessarily rush to that 4th queen either. He did kind of pull off of gas a little bit, though. Not so much that he's going for a speedling all in, but enough that he can still make banelings while maximizing his mineral income so he can take that quicker 3rd. Which, if we're going to be honest, he needs to do. Yep, there we go, on the way. Side note, I kind of wish drones that had a, like, if you have like that mineral patch in your hand when you go to build a hatchery, you should totally return it to the hatchery as it builds. Like, you think it would like osmosis, like consume the that mineral from within, the energon crystal, whatever you want to call it, and get that 5 minerals back. I'm just saying, so broken, so broken. But the Banshee is on the way, and it is going to be cloaked once again. And while Golden's not throwing down any Paranoia Spore Crawlers yet, he should keep that in mind. A Queen will not be able to... it's really unfortunate. A Queen cannot kill a Banshee one-on-one, but 2 can kill 2 pretty easily. It's the weird dynamic of the attack speed, but again, the stealth detection is always going to be priority 1, because it's what kind of stops queens from auto-attacking. But double gas is taken in the main, nothing taken elsewhere. And of course the Hellions just kind of poking around, licking the hatchery. Back at home for Yoda, however, double engineering base, so he's going to have that double tech upgrade coming out again. I talked about this last time, I'll speak about it again, where if you go for that 1-1, if you got stim pack, you're prioritizing combat shields. You're not exactly going to be able to pump out medevacs, which can really take away from pushes. I mean, if you're hitting with like 40 Marines, still, that's 40 Marines. They don't need stim, they don't need medevacs. The raw DPS there is going to be fantastic. But a lot of the times, it's not even about doing drops, it's just being able to get your units out of a bad situation, being able to pick up and leave. 3 queens doing a great job of holding the base for Golden in the meantime. But watchtower control definitely goes in the favor of Yoda here. And he's not actually gone for that quick Viking either, so he's not going to be able to pick off too much. We don't have the Spore Crawlers down since Banshee is doing damage to the middle line. Up to 7 drones killed so far. Yoda actually pulls them away this time. Although I kind of wish he would send them all the way to the natural. Well, the Overlord, or sorry, the Overseer coming in, he'll be able to kill the Banshee. And this thing actually gets 11 kills before going down, so pretty nice usage out of this. Unfortunately, the cloak was a very expensive investment, and I don't think he made a second one. Oh, he did, okay. Spore Crawler is about to complete. Banshee is going to try and get in here and do a little bit of damage. Again, it's probably going to kill maybe 5 or 6 drones before detection becomes a problem, but actually the Overseer floats over, so safety is as safety does. He'll have to pull this other queen to the natural, unfortunately, because here comes the Banshee wrapping around this side. Again, a queen, much less an injured queen, cannot 1v1 a Banshee. But, of course, for Yoda, he's not looking to go for the queen kill. He's trying to pick off as many drones as possible. Really just sort of thin the herd, so to speak. A transfuse on the drone, by the way. This drone is the luckiest drone in the world. Who wastes, quote-unquote, a transfuse on a drone, right? But, okay, so workers lost in the end. About 16 total. Not a bad trade for those Banshees, but nothing too devastating either. Golden looking a lot more comfortable in this game, though. He's not hurting for Zerglings, he's not struggling for a drone count, and he was able to actually hold off the Banshees this time. I think a big part of why that didn't work out so well last time, too, was with the constant Reapers and Hellions outside of his base, he was quite threatened that those would become an issue. One Zergling comes in for a scout. Unfortunately, we'll run into a lot of Marines. And this is what I was talking about before. With Yoda, who sacrifices in air quotes, gas in favor of getting tech upgrades, he kind of delays his medevac quite a bit. So he's got 2 right now, another 2 about to come out in the moment's time. The Roaches are a very interesting choice for me to see out of Golden. These are not going to fare too poorly because it's mostly Marines, but he can't also just like auto-attack in. He's got to kind of kite around a little bit. So he'll get on top of these, he'll chase them down. Widowmine is going to try and burrow. Oh, it's actually going to get a burrow. Nope, never mind. He gets the last shot at the last second. And the Marine count's just simply not numerous enough. There's no Marauders behind this either, and of course Hellions aren't going to do much to this Roach attack. This is an attack that I don't know if it was intended to be the all-in from Golden or not, but it will bust through that bunker. It's going to take down a lot of these Marines, and the high ground advantage is not there with the Overseer giving that high ground vision. But disengaging from this, perhaps going to third, or we can keep pressuring the natural. The problem is that the longer Golden waits, the more of a chance Yoda's going to have a lot of Marauders coming out to deal with this. Now, he's only got 1 in his army so far, but Marines, even Marines, while stimmed, can do a lot of damage to Roaches. They're not a direct counter by any means the way Marauders are, but there's some Queens. Whoa, I didn't realize you walked Queens across the map. You took the longest trek of a journey to get here, but the Roaches, can the Roaches hold? The army supply is really big, but again, it's really inflated at the same time, so he's got to be careful. 2 weapons is on the way, but it's so far out. These Marauders are finally filtering in to get on top of the fight. Oh, Golden's actually getting surrounded by SCVs on the reinforcement path. What? But you know what? He gets quite a few worker kills to this. Not too shabby out of Golden. 25 SCVs picked off through that attack, plus a good chunk of Marines and Marauders. Loses 2 of those Queens, but those are his creep spreading Queens, so not exactly a crazy loss, but still insisting on going with this heavy Roach count. If he is going to embrace the Roach Hydra mentality, well, it's Roach Hydra for a reason. You don't hear about a lot of just Roach victories versus Terran. And again, a lot of that's being shown here through the effectiveness of Stim, through the way concussive shells are going to work now that they're finished up as well. And let's not forget about the odd Widowmine that does not one-shot a Roach, but does deal a ton of damage to it, plus its friends immediately surrounding. Hellbats are kind of an interesting choice to have in the mix here too, out of Yoda. These actually aren't going to be too bad. A lot of people forget Hellbats actually do more damage than a Roach does. It takes level 1 upgrades to deal as much damage as Hellbat does. But of course, Hellbats are melee, not really range. Still, the Concave going to be in the favor of Golden to start this. Will that be enough? The Medivacs are drying out of energy, so it's just Roaches versus Stim Bio. He's going to push in here as hard as humanly possible. More Roaches and Zerglings are flooding across the map, but the numbers for Yoda are holding strong. Granted, dwindling, but still holding. Marauders coming down from the main. The Widowmine is about to rearm, so another hit's going to go off. Realizing, oh, hey, I got a bunker right here. Decides to retreat towards it. But Golden's Roaches look like they've bundled up just a little too much. That Widowmine hit stung though. It killed one and actually made a lot of these really, really low. What happened to that Overseer that was on the front lines? I guess it's no longer here, but he's going to pick up a depot. I think he knows he can't push into the potential reinforcements, and the reason we don't see him diving for that bunker is because it's going to be so easy for Yoda to sandwich him from behind. Still, though, he's got to be careful. Zerglings are a nice addition, but they're not going to get anything done, sadly, with those Hellbats now in play. They don't need Blue Flame to be effective. They just have to do the splash. But there's that little dive, and the surround comes in from those reinforcements as predicted. Yoda pushing out Golden away from his base. Golden, of course, using the hit-and-run mechanics of the Roaches. I really love that he's not taking a lot of these A-move situations, because Roaches, their greatest weakness is their rate of fire is absolute crap compared to Marines. But Golden's insisting on still pushing through this with Roaches. He really should disengage and wait till he's got more, but he's killed again a lot of workers while this was going on. Up to 37 workers killed now at this point, and the third base isn't even mining for Yoda. So this looks really inefficient out of Golden, and he's taken a lot of resources lost compared to his opponent. But he's gotten a lot done for it. The downside is, it doesn't look like he's got a plan behind this 1-1. We don't see a Hydralisk Den being placed down, and we don't see Baneling Nests on the way, sadly. So, Roachlings are, I feel, going to time out eventually, because now his opponent's got 2-2. He's going to be fighting even better and stronger than he did before. Combined with the fact that Widowmines are just kind of growing in numbers, he's not been able to whittle them down. Alright, we'll push it forward here just a wee bit. Golden, can he make it happen? It's going to be the big question. Tries to micro through those Widowmines. Unfortunately, targeted the wrong Roach. I don't know if that was Yoda retargeting, if that was Golden misclicking. Trying to figure out which one would be targeted. I guess he assumed it was the ones at the front line, but this is hard to watch, because the reason I mean, it's really easy to be like, well, why does he just disengage, make a bunch of Hydralisks? The second he reels back off of this, he opens a door for Yoda to go and be aggressive. So he's forced to fight here on the front lines, but he's dwindling numbers and bleeding out pretty hardcore. For a player who has inflated supply through Roaches, you can't have less than your opponent, and right now Yoda's ahead in supply in a big way. Queens on the front lines are not going to get a lot done. There's not a lot of army left here for Yoda, but that's the thing. This is just his front lines. Every Terran player's got the rally, they've got the reinforcements. GG is going to be called. I'm a little sad to see Yoda Golden go down like this, but I'm also really happy that Yoda takes it 2-0 over him in the end. So congratulations to Yoda. Little sad to see Golden go. Either way, we're going to move on to the brackets and see who's up next. I believe Zombie Grub is available now, and we'll try and catch her on the cast, guys.